Eat me some good old googies. Mm. Yo, 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 yo. What's the word, people? Eat me some good old cookies that I got from Annette. Man, these cookies is bomb, Annette. Thank you. Especially the chocolate chip is good. Appreciate you. In the building, what's going on with you, Annette? Them joints is good. Yeah. Got me right ready to go. What's going on, people? What's the word with you? Y'all already know what it is. Mac, we're live at 5. Yeah, I know. Uh, it's weather crazy up here. I'm in Wisconsin. Shout out to all my people in the South, all my Arizona people. Shout out to all my West Coast people. Blah, blah, blah. California. Looking. Shout out to all my East Coast people. You know what I'm saying? All that, all that. Oh, hold on once, y'all. Let me turn these notifications down. Um, Shout out to the people, man. I'm in Wisconsin though. It's a little bit confusing up here. The weather get hot, then it get cold, then it get hot again, then it get cold. Like the other day was 80 degrees. Then the day after that was 45 degrees. Y'all don't even know what it's like, man, being here. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is, like the little freestyle. But nah, man, it's crazy. It's tripped out. I promise you. Um, but I'm kind of rolling with it. Driving, and I do driving jobs and stuff like that when I do get out here and and put myself into the workforce, right? So it's good, just for the weather. Not I don't people can't drive here either. Then they build these. Okay, so people do this thing called that they call baseline, and I don't know what y'all call it in other cities, right? But where they go up the turning lane and just shoot up that is it past 2 minutes and just shoot up that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, knock that shit out, man. And like just to stop people from doing that, they built these like ugly ass like concrete islands or whatever. You know what I mean? But what that been doing was it been slowing traffic down everywhere all over the city. It's a lot going on in Milwaukee, man. Milwaukee will stress you out for real. But nah, so I've been rolling with it, trying to get everything done and keep everything together for y'all's. You know what I'm saying? So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help your boy out. You know what I'm saying? Help me get into that algorithm, man. I gotta ride that algorithm like a little wave. You know what I mean? And try and ride that motherfucker to success. You know what I mean? So hit that joint. But let me tell y'all what we talking about today, right? So we got this dude. He was talking about he seen kids in the mall. They was recording a music video, like doing TikToks and shit like that. He walk up to him talking crazy, basically trying to tell him they can't like just it's something it's like a phenomenon in America now where like an older white person will see some younger like people of color. It could be Mexican, it could be, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And just police them. Just be like, okay, I'm finna just tell them just what to do and where to go, where they could be, where they can't be. They might even try to citizens arrest you. You know what I'm saying? Um, Shit like that. You know what I mean? It's psychotic. But he seen him doing some TikToks and this regular old dude, he just walk up to him and he like, nah, y'all can't do that here. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatever. So they tried to explain, like, man, we've been doing this here, whatever, whatever. He was like, whatever. So he wasn't trying to hear it. So they try to leave. That geek him up. You know, it's always a coward, right? They when he see people trying to not engage him, it geek him up and shit. Cause he already had it in him to get some type of confrontation. And when they tried to de-escalate it, when the black kid tried to de-escalate it, he figured he was winning. You know what I mean? So Eventually, man, he followed them. He following them, harassing them. Then he knocked the girl. One of the girls. He getting the dude stand up to him. The black dude. He don't do nothing. Then he go over there and one of the girls recording. He just gonna take her phone and just throw it. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, y'all remember that episode of Fresh Prince where he was getting ribbed and shit, and he was like, "Somebody laughing too hard." Cause he ain't want to confront the dude who was talking shit to him. He was like, "What? Why you laughing so hard?" Like it was funny, man. But it was one of them things. He went after the little girl, so we gonna look at that. Cause man, dude was weak, and there's some stitches involved with it too. Like stitches, as in people adding on to the TikTok and weighing in on it, right? But we gonna talk about that, man. Then we gonna talk about this white lady. She was on this. She was snapping. She was talking about how. Well, no. First, let me tell y'all about the one thing. It's a person that just shot some people up, like a mass shooter that shot some people. I want to say in like Texas or something like that. And he was a white supremacist dude, but he was Latino though. He wasn't even white, you know. And they revealed some stuff about him. He had some drawings where it was like it had like a Latino kid at a fork in the road, and it was like one way was like act black, and the other one was like white supremacy. I wonder how many Latinos think like that. Do y'all really just feel like that, man? Like y'all gotta just conform to either acting black or white supremacy. Just have pride in your own culture. That's all you gotta do. You know what I mean? And it seemed like y'all do that, you know, to a certain extent. But then I guess that pride though do intimidate the people y'all want to get on their good side, because they'll tell y'all, you in America speak English. You know what I'm saying? But what I don't get is how we don't be racist towards them. White folks be racist. A lot of white supremacists, a lot of, you know what I'm saying? This is America. A lot of them types be racist towards the Latino people, but they just take it out on the black folks. You know what I'm saying? Like we not the problem. It's like when dude said build the wall, you know, that pretty much made them folks like, you know, oh, we gonna show y'all we can, I don't know what, conform to this side of the wall. I don't fucking know. But it's messed up though. But this dude broke down like the history of white supremacy in Latin America. And it was some interesting shit. So we're gonna talk about that. And then speaking of that, they tie into the last clip where it was an actual white lady herself, and she was talking about she's sick of like minorities. Not minorities. Oops, I said that wrong. My bad, YouTube. She is sick of other groups. She is sick of immigrants coming here criticizing black people and like talking down on black people, mistreating black people. You know what I'm saying? All that because she like we fought for the shit that they basically disrespecting black people, right? So she like we fought basically for the shit they enjoy, which is true. You know what I mean? So it's one of them things, man. And yeah, so she got on it, and you know, it all kind of tied together, double back, you know, and everything. It's just a way of looking at this microcosm of, you know, what we see. You could look, I could take three clips, you know what I'm saying, and them three clips will be like pretty much the three main facets of what we dealing with here, you know what I mean, in just different forms and fashions like that. So I mean, it is what it is, you know. We gonna look into it though, you know. Y'all already know what it is, man, and make sure that we chop it up, dissect it, you know what I'm saying, in the little pieces, see what's going on with these things, these issues. But before we do that, you know, I gotta get these algorithms flowing and glowing. So that's what it is. And we gonna get that going. Then we gonna get these clips smoking. So let's do it, y'all. Mac World Live at 5. Let's go. E be in the building. Hey, what's going on, E? Yeah. Mac World live at 5, baby. You all checked in. What's going on with y'all, man? Appreciate y'all checking me out. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, show a player some love. You know what I'm saying? For the thing I do. And let's get into it. All right, first and foremost, man, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna start it out because everything got a common theme, right? I guess it's just a fact of in this day and age, people want to play both sides when it comes to black people. They want to say, on one hand, we complaining about this, we complaining about that, but it's our time. We got too much skin in the game in America to not say what we want and how we feel. We do too much creatively. We do too much economically, all that shit, to not express that shit. You know what I mean? That's what's going on right now. It's new. It used to be hush your mouth, don't let massa hear you. But now we in this information age, man. You put your creativity with the info, the desire to learn, the fact that we do kind of, whether we admit it or not, we do kind of do it each one teach one mentality. Got one of them mentalities, so when we get into something, we start to take that thing over. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. You know, it could be greatness. It could be it's what we gotta do to survive. You know what I'm saying? We gotta secure the bag and shit. Like cause usually once we get into something, you know, we either try to get pushed out, and then when they can't push us out, we end up being ours. Look at neighborhoods, look at sports, look at musical genres, look at like just different things. You know what I'm saying? Like rap is the new pop music now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like you don't got different forms of music no more. You just got different forms of rap. Even when I be hearing some shit on a country music station and they got like the beats that I hear and the shit, I be like, man, y'all, this shit is heavily influenced by hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. The words we use, the words America use, the way they communicate. Where they say, oh, Gen Z saying this and they're saying that. No, black people saying this and that. You know, but they say it's just this Gen Z thing. That's us, man. You know what I mean? So we be wanting that respect. And I'm gonna show y'all today, man, is that we still trying, in a sense, as we integrate and into higher, how could I put it, like not having to do undesirable shit to get by, and we learning about more shit, real estate, ways to make passive income, just shit like that is getting woke as fuck without trying. You know what I'm saying? And as we go further, you know, it's like people be wanting to take us back, you know, and that's what we dealing with today in this first clip. You know what I'm saying? I said this first clip. He out in a blue shirt. You know what I'm saying? But no, check this out though, y'all. Hold on, let me go. I'm gonna go here. Boom, let's do it.
Right now, pal. I don't care.
You're literally appearing, bro.
He said, oh, private. This is not private. This is public. I'm finna stick your ass. Get on, bitch. Actually, this is private.
Get out. Goodbye. Stop following us.
He don't even know.
Stop following us.
He's finna go.
Like, you're all over.
Why would you just do that to
Why
him,
would
bro?
you just do that?
Hey, back up, bro.
The whole ass shit was that.
Hey,
Yeah, you like no, babe.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. This video.
Well, that is the video, you guys. And you know how we do it. So please hold your comment because there is an update video coming your way. The guy in the video made an update video giving more insights and explaining really what went down in that mall. And let's check it out.
Good morning, everybody, all the good people involved in this little situation going on. Good morning. My name is Jamari, and I'm a rapper from Chicago, Illinois. I moved to Minnesota 4 years ago, and I'm going to give you guys an in-depth breakdown of what happened in this video with the Karen. Okay, so starting off, we were in the mall. We went to the mall to intentionally get shots for my music video at the fair, on the fairgrounds where they have at the mall here. We ended up going on the inside of the mall for other purposes, not even the video at first. While in the mix of being in the mall, my brother ventures off from us, and me and my girlfriend stopped to do a TikTok. While doing a TikTok, this man that you see harassing us in the video comes out of his store and just starts yelling at us like, hey, you guys can't record in here, this, that, and the third, and yada, yada, yada. When I try to reiterate to this man, I try to calm him down. I'm like, hey, sir, like, I've been in this mall all day vlogging, security seen me, everything's fine. You don't have to, it's okay. If you don't want us by your store, we'll move, like, it's fine. You see what I'm saying? Like, trying to de-escalate. But I don't know what was his point, like, if he was to the point, like, he's mad up to no return, but he proceeded to harass us and use slurs and this and that and this and that. And at the end of the day, me personally, I'm just trying to get my party and leave, because in case you guys don't know, in the state of Minnesota, there is no self-defense law. We're like sitting ducks. So we have to let these people get away with these things, like, physically, but these type of things don't go unnoticed, best believe. But after trying to leave and keep getting provoked by this man, you see my reaction. And that provoked him to turn around and assault a young lady who I personally didn't even know. And she was just speaking up for us like, hey, leave those kids alone. So in all actuality, this situation, whatever you want to call it, whether it was because of this or whatever you want to call it, the situation is what it is. Like, it's a right way to go about things and it's a wrong way to go about things. And he was completely wrong, because there's no way that you should be talking to a group of kids like this over a TikTok. Like, it's not that okay. And there's no reason that he should only been charged with disorderly conduct when he physically assaulted that lady and he harassed us. Like, this is crazy, but it's the America we live in. So that's an in-depth breakdown for y'all. They keep trying to cancel me and block my videos, so I don't even know if you guys are going to see this, but here you go.
Well, that is the video, you guys. And
Dude wanted to take over the mall and shit. Like, nah, you gotta ask yourself this. Everybody do TikToks, even grown people do that shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even nothing uncommon nowadays. So you know what it look like when you see somebody doing a TikTok, right? So ask yourself this, right? Would he have did that if he seen a group of white kids doing a TikTok? You know he wouldn't have did that shit. But let's see what some of these stitches got to say. I'm interested. I ain't watching none of the stitches, so I want to see what they got to say. He looked like he finna side with the other dude. Let's see.
The original video for context, it's always important to do that before you watch anybody's stitch of something specifically like this. I'm African American. I believe in the cop watch or right to film access for public. But I'm going to correct certain things involving this. Not a lot. One of the things is, nowhere is a store's parking lot or their inside building, including a mall, that they give public access, public space. That is still a business's ownership. So you cannot, in fact, go into their property and use them as such, or treat them as such and expect to not be kicked out. That's the whole of the United States. Cop watchers made that an affirmment into actual representation of court cases. With that stated, you can be on the edge of land. Like actually right now where I don't have a fence high enough that would block somebody with just means of camera, if they're walking across my street, they could film toward my house, toward windows that are not actually closed. That is sight from public. But I'm going to hold down one thing. Without seeing how this asshole started yelling at you guys, when he knocked the phone away was an automatic sign of, one, that was an assault. So please do get him for the assault that was. That was an assault. When he knocked this phone away, he knew what the fuck he was doing. The aggression scale that was already there was a control base that he is already affirmed in. And it's hard to be bigger than those people when you approach somebody in public that is like that in term and standing your ground against it in the calm manner. That's seeing the references for Martin Luther King's fucking teachings of this stuff and just knowing how much they faced being dogs assaulting at them. Children had this happen to them, so no adults get to say shit on the same affirmment is mind-blowing. But I will say this, it's more empowering when you just let them yell and fail themselves. But when they go to assault you, they've assaulted you. You have full right to respond back.
Yeah, you can't just knock nobody's phone out their hand. And y'all, it always trip me out because it be the same people. The same people that you know if you did anything close to that to them, they would say they fear for their life. They would fall out on the ground. Like if you slap if a black dude walk up and slap a white chick phone out her hand, or she look like a little Latino, like Hispanic or whatever, like girl. So like let's just say like so I'm gonna just use it like minority or whatever as an example. Like let's just say black dude walk up, slap a white girl phone out her hand, man, she gonna fall on the ground crying. She gonna say she got hit, hurt, beat, damn near R-worded. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like over that fucking phone. On what? Like you slapped out her hand and shit. She gonna take that shit to the highest level possible. You know what I mean? But nah, so it ain't. He was on one and he was looking for some type of trouble. But the dude, the black kid actually was a little bit bigger than him, and you heard him say, "I'm finna stick you in your shit." He ain't do nothing.
Why would you just do?
What you just saw happened in St. Cloud, Minnesota. The guy you saw slapping that girl's phone, yeah, he's a racist who started harassing some black folks because they were making a music video in the mall. And no, before all y'all racists want to jump, well, maybe he was a security guard, maybe he was working. No, he flat out says in the fucking video he wasn't working, so go ahead and sit your ass down. But he was harassing these black people because they were wanting to make a music video in the mall. Ooh, the audacity. And during that confrontation with them, this young lady starts sticking up for the black folks, and he gets in her fucking face. And as you see, he slaps the shit out of her phone, and that is assault. Now, the police were contacted, but they showed up late as fuck. Guy had already left, and let's be honest, they're not actually going to do anything to try and fucking find him. So if you in St. Cloud, and you know this motherfucker, let's go ahead and get his name out there because he deserves all the accountability for this shit.
Aaliyah, come here.
My thing is, when I go out in this world, and I go to the mall, I go to the stores and shit, why don't I never see this? Why don't I ever witness this? Because I will beat the dog shit out that motherfucker.
TikTok, I'm back for.
I ain't gonna lie, I know a lot of y'all be seeing these situations and man, like, you know how they be like, you wish a motherfucker would? I know a lot of y'all be like, man, I wish somebody would try that shit with me. You know what I'm saying? But
It be like, nigga, before they even pull that kind of shit, like they look around, be like, there's not a black person around that is able to defend this. All right, I'm going all in. Like, man.
yeah, nah, they do. You know what's so funny about you saying that? Look what E just said in the comments. He said they pick and choose. Exactly what you just said, bro. Like, nah, they just so y'all see, man. Got we got the homie Two Guns in the building and shit. Kanan Williams, Moderation Gang, live Moderation Gang on deck. You know what I'm saying? So we in this thing, you know what I'm saying? Mac World Hooli Gang collab, you know what I mean? But nah, you know, so it's one of them things, man, where, you know, they get up there and they do pick and choose. They like what he say they know death when they hit what did he say, what it do, fellow graybeard. That's what he said. Man, don't worry, y'all, I'm gonna get a beer and some grays in it one day. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna get one day and I'm gonna work on the other. No, I'm probably gonna get the grays before I get the beard. I ain't even gonna lie and shit on some real East African shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm a bush baby, man. You know what I'm saying? Eyes made slick. You know what I'm saying? I was made to have a big ass stomach and some muscles. You know, y'all ever seen the Aborigines be having a little strong gut? They be like a big stomach, but it be strong. They be having the muscles, the lean muscles and shit. That's me all day. Man, for real, that's me all day. But nah, real shit though. They do pick and choose, E. And like Two was saying, they look around and see how vulnerable you is. I done been in that situation before. I done been in like UWM parties and shit like that, and I'm the only black person there. And it'll always be the gnarly white boy and try and say some stupid shit to me, but he know he looking around, making sure it ain't nobody with me, like, you know what I mean? And he seeing the square white dudes I came with, so he like, oh man, what up, my nigga? Or some shit like that, like, and then, you know, as soon as you hit him, it's like, oh, I was just greeting him. So you gotta watch it, man, but let's go.
I'll explain all that in another video, but I just happened to run across this. Somebody sent it to me. This shit is absolutely atrocious, and I tell you what, shout out to the self-control for everybody in this video. The next time you get ready to shoot a music video in a public mall or something, let me know and I will personally fly out. And if you have a run-in with somebody like that, I will personally deal with it so that there is not a race issue with it. And I can promise you, you won't have that problem again. People like that should not exist. And they need to be dealt with appropriately. There's only so much I can say about it on TikTok, but if you want to, feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about it. But I will personally deal with people like that, because if I see shit like that in public when I'm around, it'll be handled appropriately. We don't tolerate shit like that.
Sound like he talking some vigilante shit, and he a little too calm, you know what I'm saying? Bodies,
Talk about more than whooping ass.
bodies buried outside, big hole, tarp over it, do your thing, get over it. Like, man, nah, bro, we just wanna start a dialogue. We ain't trying to, like he said, if guys like me around, it will be taken care of. We don't tolerate that. Like, who is we? This nigga too calm too. Like, who is we? I got questions, man, that I don't want answers to. Shit, I don't even know if I want the answers to the questions, but
We don't want the help.
right. we appreciate it. We see you got a flag back there with a thin red blood pressure line on it. Like, bro, we gon' take it as a compliment. You was willing to stand with us, but bro, we gonna decline on the vigilante.
We'll take the good
Like,
faith gesture.
right, we'll take the good faith gesture out of it, cause man, he locked in. Whatever he talking about doing, he locked in. He decided on it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is.
He been practicing some shit.
He said it will not be taken care of. If a guy like me, if a guy like me's around, it will not be tolerated. We will take care of that. Next time you're shooting a music video, call me. I will be there, and it will not be taken care of. Like, he into it, whatever it is. He into it, bro. So yeah, shout out to my guy right there. But nah, so you know, it it gets sticky though, man, with us as a people. Let me see what he say. He say I'm the equalizer. I'll handle it. Yeah, that's how dude was talking. He was like, man, just call me.
The finalizer shit. He ain't equaling shit. Even the final, that shit.
Man, he say he the finisher and shit. He the closer. Look, he like, this what you do. You do two things. You shoot the video and you call me. You know what I'm saying? He coming through with something. You know what I'm saying? But nah, it'd be crazy if he showed up with some shit like a whole Gatling gun and shit. Like, you know, like hillbilly sometimes you having like OP shit. Like if he just showed up, woo, like some shit like that, that'd be hilarious. You know what I mean?
He's gonna starve these pigs for like the next week or so and shit. You know what I mean? So they can eat them fucking bodies up. I bet you that nigga know some pig farmers.
That sound horrendous right there, for real.
That look right up his alley.
Yeah, he looked like he was ready to do something final though, for real. He looked like he was ready to he looked like he decided on it already. But yo, so check this out though. In his next clip, kind of tying into what we was just talking about, different people, they'll come here and like you see how dude was and he trying to police and all that like that. Like I think a lot of like other I want to say like people that immigrate here, they just want an easy path to success, which I understand. You know what I'm saying? And they look at it like the people that could provide me the most success, you know, meaning the majority don't like the minorities and especially the black minorities. So I think a lot of them figure like we just gonna side with, you know, the white supremacists and not white supremacists per se, right? Because I don't want to say like everybody is a white supremacist like that, but it get extreme though, and that's what we talking about in this clip today. It get to like, and I know, and we all know some black people like that. That's damn near some white supremacists.
One quick example and shit, man.
Yeah. I'm turning this back a
motherfuckers
little bit.
using white supremacist things without actually knowing that it's like a white supremacist thing. I was just in the gas station, dude. Fat, black, sloppy, ugly black woman. You know what I'm saying? Up in there she was harassing the motherfucking Arab dude. She was harassing the Arab clerk, saying, how's you taking my money, but you can't speak English? And I said, that motherfucking dollar speak volumes though. You know how to count. You know what I mean? Like, get your shit, get the fuck up out of here. And it just kind of pissed me off because I was like, dude, do not use white supremacist motherfucking points and shit to be racist towards other motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like the same shit they talk about your dumb ass, you know, your Ebonics and shit, you know what I mean? Now you going here and telling these people that they don't speak proper English and now you gonna I don't know, I just didn't like that shit.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. It's funny that you say that shit, right? Because, you know, my mom from Africa, right? So clearly when we first came over here to this country, I was born here, then I went to live over there, came back here. So when we came back here, we was bullied, but we was bullied by black people. We wasn't bullied by no white kids or nothing like that. It be like how, you know, the saying be like it be your own people. Like, no, we was bullied by other black kids. You know what I'm saying? It was like African, you know, it's always African booty scratcher. It's always you left in the oven too long. It's when they make the clicking noises at you, all that. And it be black people though. The white folks was like, wow, you're from Africa? Whoa, what is it like over there? But the black people, like, they seen you being different as an opportunity to push some of that hurt off on you that they get. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what, you know, Brother Two Guns talking about, like to see another black person stooping that low to, you know, somebody else. Like they not us, but in that regard, they go through what we go through. So for you to use one of them talking points like that, or like, you know what I'm saying? That's like, yeah, it's that shit whack. And it's like, it's like not like kicking a motherfucker when they down, but trying to down them to feel better. He said, when you have a look that they know you don't like, when you have a look that they know you don't like, they tend to get close to you and try to friend you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When they don't know nobody that's like you, yep, they try to get close to you and befriend you. But yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a little different. So I know how it is, and that should be like a low blow. It was like a low blow, man, because like I said, most of the smoke came from, you know, our own people. But what happened is, I'm gonna keep it 100. I know a lot of Africans that come over here, you know what I'm saying, also, and they do the same thing. They kind of side with white people, you know what I mean? So let's talk about that. Let's go. Not the Africans, but people coming over here that ain't even white getting involved in white supremacy. Let's go.
Hi, Bother Brigade. Here's what's bothering me today. There's been yet another mass shooting in the United States of America, and this time it's quote-unquote different because while the shooter posted a manifesto, and no, we're not really going to talk about that in detail, but it kind of just does the whole typical right-wing neo-Nazi bullcrap. And what's different about it this time is that the shooter was Latin American or Mexican American or Hispanic American, all sorts of terms to try and point out, hey, he's not white, so how could he be a neo-Nazi if not white? Checkmate, leftists. So today, as a Latino, it's time for me to unfortunately inform everyone about how racist the subcontinent is. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So apparently it needs to be said, yes, Latin Americans can be white supremacists. There are a ton of white Latin American people. In fact, there are several countries that are majority white in Latin America. Uruguay, Argentina, Costa Rica, and Chile and Cuba are all majority white. And without even looking there, just a casual look at America also reveals that you have very racist, practically like, you know, Nazi and all but name people who also happen to be of Latin American descent. Nick Fuentes' father is Mexican American. Ted Cruz is an American Cuban, sometimes known as a Gusano. One of the most famous leaders of the Proud Boys is Enrique Tarrio. He's also Latin American. All three of these little awful ghouls have Latin American heritage, and two of them are definitely white passing, but all of them definitely have white supremacist neo-Nazi vibes to them. I also remind people that the Americas were first of all colonized by the Portuguese and the Spanish, who are European and thus brought the ideas of European race and religion and civilization to the Americas and inflicted all those unspeakable horrors upon my indigenous ancestors. And my black ancestors too, for that matter. So since we're talking about race and civilization, air quotes, in Latin America, let's talk about the casta real quick. If you've heard the term mestizo or mulatto, you are already at least somewhat familiar with the casta. The casta was a racial and social identifier used by the Spanish to determine someone's lot and worth in life, basically. There were all kinds of terms for socially identifying who was actually who on the ladder. So, if you're half black and half white, this is what you are, and that's where you fall on that social ladder, as a very brief example. At the absolute top, however, you had peninsulares and criollos. Now, peninsulares were white people who were actually born in Spain and then came over to, wreak hegemony on America. And then criollos were white people who were born in the New World. That's right. Shit was so white and so prejudiced that they had to make two different distinctions for the types of white people. And the peninsulares were seen as better and the criollos as inferior. Like, oh my God. And so these privileged few, these peninsulares and criollos.
Hey, so like, I wanted to touch on that right there. Ricky Williams in the build, my brother, what's going on? Winning team representing. I want to touch on that right there. How he said he talking about Latin America, and he said it was so racist they had to distinctify the degrees of whiteness. But they did that here in America. In America too, they had octoroons and what was the other ones, like hexaroons and all that crazy shit, like quadroons. That's what it was, a quadroon, an octoroon. Like, bro, they was dividing whiteness up because some of them people, a lot of people who are quote unquote white now are black. Like they, like, bro, that shit might sound stupid, but I'm gonna say this again. I got cousins that's mixed. And they had babies with white girls. Their kids look white, but their dad is black as me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so eventually, when those white kids meet some white people, they're gonna have some more white kids. But Man, they some quadroons. Like, you know what I'm saying? They some motherfucking quadroons and shit. If this was back in the day, they'll get stripped of their status. You know what I'm saying? Like, these ain't no real white people, but nah. It get, oh yeah, I definitely watched Goodbye Uncle Tom, E.
This shit just remind me, Drew.
Definitely watched it. Go ahead.
Of a story I just saw online earlier this week. They brought up a incident with like the Irish, you know what I'm saying, where some Irish motherfuckers was hung and lynched in Louisiana, you know what I mean, just due to not being considered white at the time when no, I'm sorry, not Irish, Italian.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Italian.
even more interesting.
When Italians first was coming to the country and shit like that, and they were in Louisiana, they weren't considered white. You know what I'm saying? They were considered black, and they lived with the blacks and shit. And they hung a few of them motherfuckers, man. They hung like 4 Italians down there due to them not being considered white. But then it's crazy that now they considered white. You know what I'm saying? And they do racist shit. It's just history.
Yeah, and I'm gonna build on that. That's a good point. Appreciate it. And then I'm gonna say this too to build on that. One thing about whiteness or whatever, why it's the argument could be made it's inherently racist is because it expands and contracts in order to maintain that power structure. Because sometimes Jewish people are white, sometimes they not white. You know what I'm saying? Italians, they consider white now, but they didn't used to be. Irish are considered white now, but they didn't used to be. Whiteness needed more people. We don't believe you. You need more people. So then they went and got like, you know what I'm saying, start recruiting people. And to back to what we talking about on the video, some of these minorities, they feel honorary white. You know what I'm saying? They feel like, man, I done got in with this group of white people, man. They accept me, like, you know what I mean? But it's crazy as fuck, man. I don't even know what to say. Let's see what Rick got to say. He say, factuals, all of them were considered non-white. They did it for the numbers. Yeah, they tried to run their numbers up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was also part of that story that I heard, too. They were saying that they just basically included the Irish to get more of the white vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They brung it was a movie. It was actually a good ass movie called The Gangs of New York. I don't know if y'all ever seen the Gangs of New York, but it was about when like the Irish Catholics first came to New York and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't feeling their ass, and they was like. They was fight like religion is power. You know what I'm saying? That's the old power. That's the first power. You know what I'm saying? Like major power and shit was religion and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was going up in New York in the boroughs and shit. Hell's Kitchen lad. Like that shit was going to fuck up with Tammany Hall and Butcher Bill or Butcher Bill or whatever.
With them knives was not bullshit.
Yeah, no, that shit was Gangs. If you ain't seen Gangs in New York, go check it out. Cause no, they definitely didn't always accept the Irish. And like, a lot of people, they come here and I will say this too. It been a lot of riots that, a lot of times like America will reach a frustrating economic point. And here go the people that used to be slaves, know how to thrive and make anything look good. We some dandies, bro. That's what the fuck whether we want to accept it or not, we some American dandies, bro. We make anything look good. And so when shit getting bad for America and they see black people out here, nigga jumping and jiving and shit, they be like, man, we finna burn out. It used to always be riots where they burnt up black neighborhoods and burnt down black towns. And when America get frustrated, man, they get frustrated at the people. You know what I'm saying? Because they like, man, they the ones. Why they ain't stressing? I be hearing in the news, they be talking about recessions, man. Don't know black folks care about that shit. Like, we like recession. When? How? When? Prices go up, we gonna get money. Prices go down, we gonna spend more of it or save more of it. It's like we don't be all recession, all that shit. That shit ain't for us, man. Everything we do, we gotta carve our way. And on one side it's fucked up, but on the other side, having everything handed to you and watching some other motherfuckers blazing trails hurt you different. And we don't know what that feel like. They don't know what it feel like to be us. We don't know what it feel like to see us from the outside doing a bunch of shit that like you be like, how do they fucking do that? Oh my god, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, the hatred is real. Let's go.
Criollos, they start, setting up what would become the foundations of all the different Latin American states by displacing and or murdering indigenous people and also, by the way, enslaving them. What ends up happening is you have various different systems. The encomienda, which dealt with a lot of slavery and how they were entitled to certain groups of people and their labor, like what the actual hell? And then you also had systems like the hacienda and the latifundia. Now, the latifundia was basically you would be given like a large landed estate to which you were entitled all the monetary rewards thereof. These were given to churches. These were given to
Europe,
wealthy aristocrats from Spain or from Portugal.
But did y'all hear
and the
what he just
hacienda
said?
was kind of at the center of all that, where it was like your Spain or from. These were given to churches. These were given to like wealthy aristocrats from Spain or from Portugal. And the hacienda was kind of at the center of all that, where it was like
Churches
your big estate slash
of the
a factory. That's
crust.
part of where hacienda comes from. It comes from the Spanish verb hacer, meaning to make or create. And so that was sort of the center of all of this of, yes, here on my massive slave plantation that stretches out to the horizon as far as the eye can see, and all these slaves, the indigenous ones keep dying, so I guess we better get the transatlantic slave trade started. Come on over here, Africans, we gotta work you to death so I can just sit here on my porch, on my hacienda, while everyone's making stuff so I can get richer and richer. This happened pretty much everywhere. Now, there were some places that didn't have as much slavery, but this was basically everywhere from Mexico to Brazil and everywhere in between. So this is all at the very beginning of Latin American history, right? And already you are seeing massive amounts of inequality, racial prejudice, slavery, and all the wealth being concentrated into the hands of a handful.
Hey, I'm over here clowning with my nigga too, right? Because he said... This nigga here, he said, bro, you can work other races to death, but you cannot work a nigga to death. You know what I'm saying? Like, and besides John, they had to make a myth about a nigga being worked to death, beating the train, John Henry and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's true. And I said, bro, that's why I be like the people, because like, bro, we are the people. Like everybody else is spinoffs of us. Like I was just telling y'all about octoroons and all that. They wasn't going back checking for whiteness. They was going back checking for blackness, because we are the people. People were spinoff. They wanted to see how much of a spinoff you was. They were rewarding spinoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you only a 1/4 spinoff. We need like a full 10th out of you. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. So we the people. No, you can't work us to death. Rick say facts. Recession my ass. I'm going to Hawaii next week. Hell yeah. Have some man. Catch a wave for me, fool. I ain't never been surfing. But I be seeing the waves in Hawaii. I be like, man, I get out there and get on the wave and shit and watch and what they call it, wiping out and wipe out just to fall in the blue water and shit and start over again, bro. That shit look lovely. You know what I'm saying? But nah, bro, ain't nothing gonna stop us. Could y'all imagine how that feel on the side note to see, like, we be thinking they tripping. Like, when they see like the Black Little Mermaid, when they saying death threats to Jordan, or they saying death threats to Jackie Robinson, we be thinking they tripping, but bro, they shook. They be thinking like, dude, they thought we could fly. They thought like all type of shit. You know what I mean? They used to have our like mothers breastfeed they babies and stuff like that. Like all type of weird shit. It was a point.
She giving off and shit, but these niggas to be in the field that long. You know what I'm saying?
Have y'all ever heard of Egypt files before? It was a point where they were going and excavating like mummy flesh from Egypt and trying to like consume it to stay immortal. Like, bro, I'm talking about, they wasn't going to Rome to go see all the blood in the sand in the Colosseum. They were looking for the math, science secrets of Africa. It's so much shit they pillaged and took from there. They wasn't looking for like, you know what I'm saying, old spears and Bronze Age, you know what I'm saying, weapons so motherfuckers could fight bloody civil wars. No, they was looking for the secrets of life and survival in the solar system and shit like that, and astronomy that we knew ahead of time. Reading Timbuktu was like a big university center of learning and shit. You know what I'm saying? Egypt, shit like that. Architecture, you know what I mean? All type of shit, and agriculture and shit like that. You know, they was looking for all that, man, you know. But I digress. Let's go.
Full of white people who decided from the get-go, by the way, to implement this casta system of racial stratification while they were again abusing and enslaving and extracting wealth from the land and the people that were either indigenous to there or brought over as slaves from Africa. So yeah, the legacy of all of this is a continent that speaks Spanish, is predominantly Catholic, and is overwhelmingly racist. Far too many conflicts to count from Latin America have been started due to a power struggle, either between criollos or the landed criollo estate class versus the majority, either mestizo or indigenous or some other marginalized population that rose up in rebellion saying, hey, you're talking about this democracy and representation stuff, can we get some of that? And then the criollos would basically say, no, go to hell. Think about the recent coup in Peru and how that was meant to protect the landed interests in Peru, or even the one that came before that in Bolivia with Janine Áñez and a selection of a handful of white Bolivians who just said, oh no, these poor indigenous Bolivians, they don't know how to run things, so we gotta take over and show them how it's really done. This is not an uncommon part of Latin American history. In fact, there's a term for what it means to actually improve the country. Blanqueamiento. Blanqueamiento is literally the idea of whitening your people and your nation. See, we're getting more and more white and therefore more and more civilized, because that's what our ancient slave master Spaniards and Portuguese people imprinted in our subconscious. You don't have to look far or hard to find racist Latin Americans or Hispanic Americans. Whether they are born and raised in the United States or they are found elsewhere throughout Latin America, it doesn't really matter. You can find this easily. I feel like I'm just kind of in this weird space of, oh yeah, I'm perfectly aware of all this, and people are suddenly shocked to be like, oh no, it's impossible for brown people to be racist, and it's that's because not all Latin Americans are brown people, and that's part of why we have a huge race and colorism problem in the Latin American community. As a grim example, my father is Afro-Latino. Technically, he's a Zombo, see the Costa for that. But he's as Latin American as just about anyone, and yet, because of his skin color, he is greeted with racism by a great many other Latinos. We should also maybe talk a little bit about the Dominican Republic and their whole relationship with race, but I'm not Dominican and I couldn't get my Dominican friends to immediately respond before I started recording this, so that's probably gonna have to be a subsection for a different time, but it's definitely.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna go on and where he left off on a good point right there. Dominican Republic, man, them folks is very, 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 very fucking colorist and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's to the point to where you be black, you don't even be from Haiti, and you go over there and they don't even want you over there because of your skin color is dark and shit. But then not only that, a lot of them, especially with Cubans and stuff, they bring that over here, that racism, that colorism and shit, and bring that attitude over here to the black people that been here that basically we built this damn country. You know what I'm saying?
You know, a lot of black people have always talked about what we're seeing today is that other groups have immigrated to this country and they're having this hostile attitude toward black Americans. It wouldn't be for black Americans, they wouldn't have an opportunity to come here and make, themselves have a great life if they decide to work hard and do so. Case in point, this one woman who recognized that, and Vivek Ramaswamy, she was pretty upset by the firing of Don Lemon. And she kind of touched on something that a lot of black Americans have been saying as of late. Let's go ahead and roll that.
So CNN silences another black person in the form of Don Lemon because he challenged that Indian Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever the hell his name was on national TV.
Yeah, they
You know,
supposedly
I
fired
really am
Don Lemon.
sick.
They supposedly fired Don Lemon because he challenged one of they, CNN trying to be the new Fox News, and he challenged one of their conservative new talking heads that they had, some Indian dude, and so Don Lemon got fired for it. That's crazy.
And tired of all of these people who have come to America after black people have fought for their civil rights, that these Indians and every other minority now enjoy, to tell black people how they should feel. I am so sick of hearing them making it seem the experience that black people went through this country, they should just basically get over it, because it's still going on. You just have to watch some of these TikTok videos with this color Americans and others that you see the hatred. CNN is Fox Light. CNN is not doing any good for America when people who lie are not called out on national television. The NRA did not help black people. Do you remember a time when black people during the Civil War, the only time they could carry guns was during the Civil War? After that, if they had a gun, they probably would have been lynched. Do you remember what happened when the Black Panthers showed up in California with their assault rifles? Ronald Reagan changed the law. So to have this Indian say that he did on national TV, and CNN fires Don Lemon because he called him out, is total bullshit, people. These other races need to stop telling black Americans what they should and should not feel.
One thing about human nature is that when they receive good things that they didn't have to work for, they become arrogant. They become very arrogant and not appreciative.
Pretty much, shit, because we fought for everybody's civil rights. Like, it wasn't even a question. Like, anybody coming here, had we not fought for civil rights, and it just would have been the way that it was before, anybody coming here would have been coming here to get treated the way we was getting treated. But we fought for better treatment, and everybody else jumped on that, not like jumped on the bandwagon because everybody deserved to be treated equal, but everybody else benefited from the struggle we went through. You know what I'm saying? The discrimination, the segregation, the lynching, the whole KKK terror era, all that. We went through all that so people could breathe a little bit easier when they got here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to force America to clean up its image, and that cleaner image of America is what attracted a lot of these immigrants here to try their hand at making it, but they don't want to respect the OGs, you know what I'm saying, that basically made the shit possible, you know what I mean? So that's what we dealing with, man, you know? A lot of discrimination, a lot of miscorrelation, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of denigration, I guess is the word. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get my Jesse Jackson on, but nah, you know, we get put in these positions, man, unduly when we just trying to do what anybody else doing. But in America, I always say black political party, whether they want to admit it or not. Anything you doing, it's like you doing it, but you doing it while black. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just that you got a gun, that you owning a gun because you American. You black first and got the gun. You know what I'm saying? It's like you ain't just playing your music. You ain't just smoking weed. You ain't just you black doing it, and it got a whole different connotation. And you know, but we got to make sure we cultivate the best of our own image too. Because when you go along with what they want you to be and what they say you are, to me, that's that plantation mindset. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got for y'all today, man. Appreciate y'all checking me out tomorrow, the end of the week. Shout out to Two Guns coming in live. Shout out to Ricky Williams. Shout out to E. You know what I'm saying? The net. Everybody, replay gang who come through and watch the live streams later, man. Y'all the real MVPs. Make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all do. And man, until tomorrow, I'm out of here, y'all. So later, I'm gone.